Is it actually possible to defeat Vecna? Or are we talking about an indestructible being? A lot of people think he can't die, that he's some sort of immortal creature who always finds a way to come back. But friends, the truth is that he does have a weakness. And the best part is that Dungeons & Dragons, the game that inspired the entire series, already showed us exactly how Vecna could be defeated once and for all. So get ready, because this video might just save your life in the Upside Down. To begin, what is Dungeons & Dragons? If you haven't noticed, it's the main game Stranger Things is based on. The names, the monsters, the references, the rules, everything comes from there. From this game, we get names like Demogorgon, Mind Flayer, and of course, Vecna. It's a game where you and your friends tell a medieval fantasy story full of wizards, heroes, and all kinds of monsters. But the most important thing is that this game teaches us how Vecna actually works. Vecna isn't a normal monster, or a demon, or a dragon. Vecna is the most powerful Lich of them all. And what does it mean to be a Lich? Hold on, we'll explain that in a bit, because it's the key to understanding his weakness. But for now, think of this. A Lich is a wizard so powerful he managed to separate his soul from his own body. And that's what makes Vecna practically immortal. You cannot just shoot him in the head and call it a day. Vecna is worse than a cockroach. Defeating him is a complicated process that requires several pieces working together. But don't worry, after we break this down, if you ever find Vecna, this info might save your skin. So, to defeat a Lich, you need at least 2 or more of the following elements. Legendary objects, psychic interference, the betrayal of the right warrior, and the most important of all, the phylactery. And yes, all of these have their counterpart in Stranger Things. Let's go step by step. First, legendary objects. In Dungeons & Dragons, there exist objects powerful enough to damage an immortal being. There are several across the game, but we'll only mention the ones connected to Stranger Things. Like the Orb of Annihilation, a portable black hole capable of erasing anything in the multiverse. It touches something and poof, that something stops existing. In Stranger Things, this could be a destructive tear in the Upside Down, a portal that disintegrates whatever crosses it, or a collapsing dimensional point. The Book of the Vile Darkness, a grimoire filled with the darkest, most dangerous spells ever written. With it, you can learn Vecna's secrets, awaken his magic, or even turn his own power against him. In Stranger Things, this would be equivalent to all the hidden information about Henry Creel, the Upside Down, and its origin. Other legendary items could appear as radiant weapons, blessed artifacts, or the most important one of all, the Sword of Cass, which connects directly to Eddie. But don't worry, we'll get there soon. In the show, this can be reinterpreted as a mysterious weapon, a psychic artifact, an upside-down relic, or even a brand new ability from Eleven. And now that we've finished with the legendary objects, let's continue with psychic interference. And here's one of Vecna's most direct weaknesses. In Dungeons & Dragons, the best way to weaken a Lich is to disrupt its concentration. If it loses mental focus, its spells fall apart, its defenses drop, and it becomes vulnerable. We've already seen this in Stranger Things, like Meg surviving thanks to her favorite music, the guys using extreme high-frequency sounds, or Steve's car crashing through the psychic barrier with a tuned antenna. All of that equals to attacking Vecna's mind, so now he's exposed to the final blow. Even Eleven could reach a psychic level where she enters Vecna's mind directly and leaves him open. The betrayal of the right warrior. In the original lore, Vecna has only been truly defeated once, and guess by who? Cass, his own right-hand warrior. He was not an enemy, not a hero, not even a rival mage. It was the one person Vecna never expected to betray him. And here's the key. Cass defeated him for real. He destroyed Vecna's physical body, cut off his hand, gouged his eye, and sent him out of his own plane. And when Eddie returns in Season 5, he'll be the perfect representation of Cass inside the series, the one destined to betray Vecna from within. And this is not random. There are several clues in Stranger Things that connect Eddie to Cass. But that's a topic for our video, why Eddie is definitely coming back in Season 5. Alright, to truly understand Vecna's final weakness, we need to understand what a Lich really is. A Lich is a wizard so powerful he decides to split his soul into an object, the phylactery. When that happens, something bizarre occurs. His body stops mattering. Age no longer affects him. He cannot die from wounds, from weapons. He cannot even die if his own body explodes. Because even if you destroy his physical body, his soul lives on in the phylactery. That's why Vecna is basically immortal. Ending him physically is only phase 1. If the phylactery still exists, Vecna always comes back. Kill him, burn him, explode him, crush him, it doesn't matter, he always returns. Like downloading his soul from the cloud and reinstalling it into a new body. The phylactery is basically his charger, his Wi-Fi modem, his iCloud, his backup drive, his portable battery. If you don't destroy the phylactery, you don't destroy Vecna. But how do you destroy a phylactery? Well, this is where it gets tough. In Dungeons & Dragons, a phylactery can only be destroyed with the Orb of Annihilation, the Sword of Chaos, rituals from the Book of Vile Darkness. Divine Magic level 9, collapsing the plane where it's hidden, legendary anti-magic, or an equal or greater being interfering, like Chaos. It does not work if you smash it with the hammer, burn it, break it with force. It needs something truly legendary. So, how does all this translate to Stranger Things? Well, here's the juicy part. Vecna in Stranger Things works exactly like a Lich. And everything indicates that his phylactery is not a physical object, but his psychic connection to the Upside Down. In Season 4 they mentioned that Vecna operated from his own house, the place where Henry Creel became a monster. That house could be the physical representation of his bond with the Upside Down. Others think his phylactery is a radio he used as a child to connect to the other side, a radio Brenner might have kept in one of his laboratories. And the strongest theory, collapsing the entire Upside Down would destroy his magic source, his link, and his soul, making him completely immortal. With all of this information, and now we know exactly the final step to defeat Vecna inside Stranger Things. But before we continue, drop a comment saying Stranger Things 5 if you're enjoying the video, and make sure to leave a like so we can keep making content about your favorite series. Now, how does this play out in Season 5? It's actually easy. Season 5 will be divided into 2 parts. In Part 1 of Season 5, the kids will destroy Vecna's physical body. They will use music, frequencies, psychic attacks, a powerful object like the Sword of Chaos represented by Eddie, maybe his guitar? Then Vecna falls, but only physically. Then comes Part 2 of Season 5. It's revealed that he's still alive. The mission becomes destroying his phylactery. This might require finding the radio, destroying Henry's house, breaking the psychic connection, or collapsing part of the Upside Down. And here's a hidden detail from Stranger Things that might become the key. Patty Newby, Bob Newby's sister. Henry Creel was in love with her as a young boy, and she was the only person Henry ever opened up to. She was the only one who knew how he got his powers and what the Upside Down really was. Many believe Patty is still alive, and if she is, she could be the only one who understands Henry's mind before he became Vecna. Her knowledge could help the kids figure out the exact link that keeps Vecna alive. Not because he literally stored his soul in an object, but because Henry formed an emotional bond that could reveal everything. This information would help Eleven attack Vecna directly, now that she has more control over her powers than ever. And that's where Eddie comes back, not as a random ghost, but as the representation of Cass, the only warrior with the narrative power to betray Vecna and break his final defense. Vecna doesn't fall once, he falls twice. First they destroy his body, then they destroy his phylactery, and only when both are gone, Vecna disappears for good. And believe it or not, the game the kids have been playing since Season 1 always had the answer. Did you already know Vecna cannot be defeated with a single blow? Or did you think he was an immortal villain? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to know exactly why Eddie is coming back and how he connects to Cass, we've got a video that's gonna blow your mind. See you in the Upside Down.